Friends of Islam, this time the Islamic faith is back before you to share Islamic information. I hope it inspires your activities today, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and activate the bell button notifications so you don't miss the latest news from the Islamic Faith channel. If we look deeper, there are other religions in this world that worship in a way that is very similar to Islam. Some people purify themselves before praying, some pray 5 times a day. There are those who believe in one God, but they are not Muslims. Who are they?
Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, the most merciful.
Is this a coincidence or an intersecting spiritual imprint? This is not about equalizing beliefs. This understands that the search for God often leads humans to similar forms of worship. What are their similarities with Islam and striking differences with Islam? These are 10 religions in the world that are similar to Islam. The Druze religion, or Druzism, is an esoteric monotheistic belief that developed from the Ismaili Shia branch in the early 11th century AD under the Fatimid Caliphate in Egypt. However, Druze are not Islamic. It is a separate religion that combines elements of Shia Ismaili Islam, Greek philosophy such as Plato, Aristotle, and Pythagoras. The holy book is called Rasail al-Hikmah, or a treatise on wisdom that can only be accessed by certain spiritual circles within the Druze community. The name Druze comes from Muhammad ibn Ismail al-Darazi, a founding figure of the movement. However, the Druze community itself rejects association with him, considering it deviant. They prefer to call themselves al-Muwahhidun, or Unitarians, those who believe in the oneness of God. Although not part of Islam, the Druze share some similarities. In terms of dress, for example, Druze men typically wear long robes and white turbans. Women wear black or white headscarves depending on their spiritual status. They revere Islamic prophets such as Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. Their primary language is Arabic, and they live side by side with Muslim communities in the Levant. However, the differences between the Druze and Islam are striking. While Islam is open to converts, the Druze are closed off. Only descendants of the Druze are allowed to practice their spiritual secrets. While the Druze reject depictions of God, they lack common rituals such as congregational prayer or sermons. They live in closed communities, strictly guarding their identity and traditions. In Israel, the Druze are even active in the military and politics. While maintaining their spiritual autonomy, the Druze do not observe the 5 pillars of Islam, such as the 5 daily prayers, the Ramadan fast, or the Hajj pilgrimage. Druze adherents are spread throughout the world. Estimates of the number of Druze adherents vary. Conservative estimates range from 800,000 to 1 million. Maximum estimates are up to 2.3 million globally. However, due to its closed nature and the lack of conversions, the community's growth has been very slow and steady. Sikhism is a monotheistic religion that emerged in India in the late 15th century. It was founded by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. The word Sikhism itself comes from the Sanskrit word Sishya, meaning disciple or student. The core of their teachings is belief in one formless, eternal, and loving God, whom they refer to as O Guru. They reject the caste system and gender discrimination and advocate honesty, hard work, and service to others. Their holy book is the Guru Agung Sahib, considered the 11th Guru after 10 human gurus who led the community for 2 centuries. Thus began their history. In 1469, Guru Nanak was born in Punjab to a Hindu family. He studied with both Hindu and Muslim gurus, including a Sufi saint. In the 15th century, Guru Nanak began preaching that God is one and that all humans are equal. In the 1600s, subsequent gurus formed strong Sikh communities, established Gurudwaras, houses of worship, and compiled scriptures. And in the 1700s, Guru Gobind Singh founded Khasa, a community of spiritual founders who upheld the values of psychologism. They wore 5 sacred symbols: sesh, long hair; kara, iron bracelet; kachara, short trousers; kirpan, sword; and Kangha, wooden comb. Despite their different origins, Sikhism and Islam share several similarities. Sikhism is monotheistic, believing in one God, whom they call O Guru. They do not worship images and reject idol worship. They also have a system of charity and almsgiving. While in Islam, 2.5% of zakat is given to the poor, in Sikhism, 10% is given to charity. Both emphasize social justice and spiritual struggle. In Sikhism, the struggle is called Dharam Yudh, a holy war for truth, similar to the concept of jihad in Islam. Despite these similarities, fundamental differences remain. In Islam, Muslims are shrouded and buried, while in Sikhism, cremation is practiced. Muslims are required to undergo circumcision, but in Sikhism, circumcision is not performed. Sikhism is the fifth largest religion in the world, with approximately 25 to 30 million adherents. Most live in India, 23.7 million, primarily in Punjab. Sikhism's place of worship is a Gurudwara, a place of worship open to all, regardless of religion, caste, or social status. There, Sikhs sing praises, read scriptures, and serve free food as a form of service. Yarsanism, also known as the Ahlus Haq, the truth, or Ahlus Haq, the truth, is a syncretic religion that emerged in the late 14th century in western Iran. Its primary founder was Sultan Sahak, a spiritual figure believed by his followers to be a divine manifestation. The name Yarsan comes from the Kurdish language and means friend of God. It is not simply a religion, but a mystical path that emphasizes the interconnection between humans and the divine essence. In Yarsanism, the world is divided into two, the outer, Zahir, and the inner, Batin, or spiritual. Only those who understand both can attain true truth. Their holy book, the Kalam-e-Saranjam, written in the Gorani language, contains spiritual teachings, mystical poetry, and profound life principles. Yarsanism flourished among the Kurdish, Lori, and several other ethnic minorities in Iran and Iraq. However, because its teachings are often misunderstood and considered deviant by the dominant religious system, many adherents choose to hide their identity in Iraq. They are known as KKI. And in southeastern Turkey, a small Yarsani community still survives in rural areas. Although hidden, its followers are estimated to number 2 to 3 million. Most are of Kurdish ethnicity, but there are also Turks, Persians, Lori, Azerbaijanis, and Arabs. Although not part of Islam, Yarsanism shares some interesting similarities with Islam, particularly in dress and appearance. Yarsani men often wear mustaches and beards as symbols of honor, a tradition common in some Muslim communities. Furthermore, Yarsanism has pirs and rabbis as spiritual guides passed down through generations. Similar to Islam, which recognizes ulama, Islamic scholars, and murshids, leaders. However, these similarities are more symbolic and philosophical than theological. Yarsanism does not engage in open proselytizing. It is more esoteric, passed down within specific communities, and does not consider itself a universal religion. There are an estimated 2 to 3 million Yarsanists worldwide, although the exact number is difficult to determine because many hide their identity for safety. Samaritanism is an Abrahamic monotheistic religion practiced by the Samaritan ethnic community. They believe in one God, Yahweh, and use the Samaritan Torah as their main holy book. Unlike the version of the Torah used by Jews, they believe the Samaritan Torah is the original version that has not been corrupted by human hands. This Samaritan religion also recognizes their own version of the Book of Joshua and figures such as the high priest Eli. The most sacred place for them is not Jerusalem, but Mount Gerizim. The mountain they believe is where God dwells. Mount Gerizim is located in the West Bank region, precisely near the city of Nablus, Palestine. Geographically, this mountain is in the heart of the Samaria district and directly faces Mount Ebal, forming a fertile valley known as the Valley of Shechem. The Samaritan religion is estimated to have emerged around 3000 BC from the descendants of the Manasseh and Abraham, the sons of the prophet Joseph, peace be upon him. After the northern kingdom of Israel was conquered by King Sargon II of Assyria, most of the population was exiled. However, the Samaritan community survived and maintained its traditions. Since the 6th century AD, they began to separate from the mainstream Jewish community and were rejected as fellow believers by the Jewish rabbis. Throughout their history, they experienced oppression from various regimes, including the Romans, Byzantines, Arab dynasties, and the Ottomans. Yet they persisted. Samaritanism literally means the belief system of the Samaritans. However, spiritually, it is a form of resistance against the currents of history that tried to erase their identity. Although not part of Islam, Samaritanism shares several interesting similarities. They adhere to monotheism, believing in one God, whom they call Yahweh. Similarly, Muslims believe in one God, Allah. Some of their rituals, such as the slaughter of sacrificial animals during Passover, are similar to those of Eid al-Adha. Even their dress and lifestyle resemble conservative Muslim communities in the Middle East. However, fundamental differences remain. Islam uses the Quran as the final revelation, while Samaritanism only recognizes its version of the Torah. Islam recognizes the Prophet Muhammad as the final prophet. Meanwhile, Samaritanism does not recognize any prophets after Moses and Joshua. The number of Samaritans today is very small, only around 800 to 1,000. Their population once numbered in the millions. However, due to war and persecution, including prohibitions on marriage with non-Samaritans and forced conversions to other religions, their population has dwindled drastically. Despite this, they maintain their traditions, language, and holy scriptures with zeal. Samaritans are called Samaritans. They are neither Jewish nor Arab and do not identify as Israeli or Palestinian citizens, although they hold dual passports from both countries. Shabakism is not a widely recognized major religion like Islam, Christianity, or Hinduism. It is a minority belief system practiced by the Shabak ethnic group, a small group living around Mosul in northern Iraq. Shabakism is often considered a form of syncretism, a blending of various spiritual teachings and practices. The word Shabakism comes from the Kurdish word shabak, meaning mixed or mixed. This name reflects the character of their teachings, which combine elements of Shia Islam, Sufism, and local traditions. This religion is thought to have emerged between the 14th and 16th centuries CE amidst the spread of Islam in the Mesopotamian region. Shabakism developed as a form of local spirituality that rejects formal dogma and emphasizes inner experience and a direct relationship with God. For centuries, the Shabak community has been marginalized, primarily because their teachings were considered deviant from mainstream Islam. Shabakism's rituals are heavily influenced by Sufi and Shia practices, but with distinctive local nuances. Zikr, remembrance of God, and inner meditation are at the heart of their worship, similar to the practices of Sufi orders. They have spiritual leaders called pirs or babas, similar to the murshids in Sufi orders. Not all rituals are performed in mosques. Many are conducted in homes or community shrines. They commemorate holy days such as Ashura, but with a more mystical and symbolic interpretation. They also revere the Quran. Their dress, too, is typically Islamic, involving a robe, a cloak, and a turban. Despite its similar roots, Shabakism differs in several important ways. It does not strictly adhere to the 5 pillars of Islam, particularly regarding prayer and zakat, almsgiving. It emphasizes personal spiritual experience over Sharia law. Not all Shabakists fast during Ramadan, and they have their own ritual calendar. Their teachings are esoteric. Not all doctrines are taught openly. Shabakists are ethnic Sabaks who primarily live in the Nineveh region of northern Iraq, especially in the villages around Mosul. They speak the Sabaki language, a mixture of Kurdish, Arabic, and Persian. This community is often under political and social pressure, especially from the majority group. The current number of Shabakists is estimated at between 250,000 and 300,000 in Iraq. However, this number is difficult to determine because many conceal their religious identity for security reasons. Some Shabaks have formally assimilated into Shia Islam, although they continue to practice Shabakism secretly and privately. Orthodox Christianity is one of the 3 main branches of Christianity, along with Roman Catholicism and Protestantism. The word Orthodox comes from the Greek words orthos, meaning true, and doxa, meaning teaching or belief. Orthodox means true teaching. The Orthodox Church believes it has preserved the purity of the teachings of the apostles and the early ecumenical councils without major changes for over 2,000 years. The history of Orthodox Christianity is rooted in the teachings of Jesus and the apostles in the 1st century AD. It flourished in holy cities such as Jerusalem, Antioch, Alexandria, and Rome. In 313 AD, Emperor Constantine recognized Christianity and moved the capital to Byzantium, or Constantinople. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD established the Creed as the foundation of the doctrine of the Trinity. Orthodox liturgy is more than just worship. It is a profound spiritual experience. Worship is conducted standing without chairs, as in the early church. Orthodox Christianity, Islam, and Judaism all share the same roots, namely the teachings of the prophet Abraham. It is therefore not surprising that there are many similarities. They also perform ablution before worship. They wash their hands and feet as God commanded Moses, as recorded in Exodus chapter 40, verse 32. Their Qibla faces east, toward paradise, where Jesus is. Orthodox Christians pray 7 times a day with bowing and prostration just like Islam does. It's just that in Islam, prayers are performed 5 times a day. Their clothes are also the same. Women are required to cover their private parts with a headscarf and long robe. Orthodox Christians also have fasting rituals. In Islam, there is Ramadan fasting and other Sunnah fasts. In Orthodoxy, they fast 6 months a year and abstain from eating meat. Orthodox Christians pray by raising their hands and prostrating themselves. Although ritually similar, fundamental differences remain. Orthodox Christians believe in the Trinity, while Islam emphasizes the monotheism of the oneness of God. And while Jesus is considered Lord and Savior in the Orthodox tradition, in Islam, Jesus is the prophet Isa, God's chosen man. Orthodox Christianity has spread throughout the world, especially in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. Even in Indonesia, the Orthodox Church began to develop since 1988. It is now spread in Jakarta, Surakarta, Mojokerto, Papua, and other areas. The total number of Eastern Orthodox Christians is around 294 million and is among the 10 largest religions in the world. Baha'i religion emphasizes the spiritual unity of humanity. It did not arise from other branches of religion, but stands alone as a new revelation believed to come from God. Baha'i teaches that all the world's major religions, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism, are part of a single, progressive, divine plan. Each prophet brought light for his time, and Baha'u'llah is the latest light in that series. The Baha'i religion began in Persia, Iran, in the mid-19th century. It began with a figure named Sangbab, 19 to 20, who preached the coming of a new messenger of God. This messenger was Baha'u'llah, who appeared from 1817 to 1892, then declared himself a messenger from God and brought new teachings to humanity. Baha experienced exile and persecution by the Persian and Ottoman authorities. He was imprisoned and eventually exiled to the city of Akka, Palestine, where he wrote thousands of letters and scriptures that became the foundation of the Baha'i teachings. The name Baha'i comes from the Arabic word Baha, meaning glory. So literally it means follower of the glory of God. Adherents of the religion speak in more than 200 countries and territories, including Indonesia. The religion is materialistic, culturally and socially diverse. There are no specific clothing symbols or attributes that distinguish them physically. Baha'i teachings emphasize that spirituality is reflected in morality, not appearance. There are an estimated 7 to 8 million Baha'i adherents worldwide. Although not as numerous as other major religions, Islam shares several similarities with Islam, primarily due to its historical roots in Islamic territory and culture. Both religions share the same concept of divinity, believing in one God. They revere and acknowledge the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, as God's messenger. They also practice daily prayers, fast for 19 days before Ramadan, and make pilgrimages to holy sites. Many prayers and holy books are written in Arabic and Persian. However, these similarities are more symbolic and historical than theological. Despite these similarities, the differences between Islam and Islam are significant. They do recognize the Prophet Muhammad as God's messenger. However, they do not recognize him as the final prophet. They claim that the Prophet Muhammad was the final messenger. In Islam, the Kaaba is the Qibla, while the Qibla of the Yazidis is in Jerusalem. Yazidism is an ancient monotheistic religion practiced by the Yazidi ethnic group, a predominantly Kurdish ethnic group. They believe in one God who created the world and entrusted it to 7 divine beings, the most important of which is Melektaus, or the peacock angel. This religion is not a direct descendant of Islam, Christianity, or Zoroastrianism, but rather a syncretism, a spiritual blend of various ancient traditions, Sufi mysticism, Zoroastrian teachings, Mesopotamian beliefs, and Eastern Christian elements. It is rooted in the teachings of Sheikh Adi ibn Musafir, a Sufi figure of Umayyad descent who settled in Lalis in the 12th century. After Sheikh Adi's death, his teachings developed into a unique belief system that deviated from Orthodox Islam and shaped the Yazidi identity. Yazidism has experienced more than 70 major persecutions, including the 2014 genocide by ISIS. The name Yazidi itself is believed to derive from the ancient Iranian word Yazata, meaning divine. Some adherents believe it originates from the word Ezid, or Yestan, meaning God. They reject claims that the name derives from Yazid ibn Muawiyah, a controversial figure in Islamic history. Yazidism is a community of Yazidis who predominantly speak Kurmanji, a dialect of Kurdish. They are spread across various regions of the world, with the largest population in the Nineveh and Sinjar regions of Iraq. The total Yazidi population worldwide is estimated at between 700,000 and 1.5 million. Although outwardly similar to Islam, Yazidism differs fundamentally from Islam. Yazidis revere Melektaus, who, in their mythology, fell from God's grace but was later forgiven. This contrasts with the Islamic view of the devil as a cursed being. They have their own holy book, the Black Book or Al-Aswad Bible, and do not follow the Quran. They pray only on the night of Nisfu Sban, which is considered representative of the entire year. Many foods are forbidden, and they do not follow the halal laws of Islam. They have unique holidays, such as the Murabaha and the Black Night, which are not found in Islam. Mandaism is a monotheistic Gnostic religion originating from the ancient Mesopotamian region, now Iraq and Iran. Etymologically, Mandaism comes from the Eastern Aramaic word manda, meaning knowledge. It is similar to the Greek term gnosis. This reflects the core of their teachings, a spiritual quest to understand the origins of the soul and a path back to the world of light. In their view, life is a process of purifying the soul from the material world toward union with divine light. In their teachings, this world is an arena of battle between light and darkness, between spirit and matter. The body is considered a prison, while the soul is a light that must be liberated. They believe in one God, whom they call Hayy Rabbi, living God, and revere figures such as Adam, Abel, Seth, Enosh, Noah, Shem, and especially John the Baptist, or Yahya, who is considered their main prophet. This religion is thought to have existed since the 1st century AD. They are known as the Suba or Sabians, mentioned in the Quran as one of the groups of the people of the book. Although they flourished for a time, their history is filled with persecution and diaspora. Many fled to the West, especially after conflicts in the Middle East. Although theologically different, Mandaism shares several similarities with Islam. Mandaeans wear pure white clothing during worship, similar to the Islamic Ihram. They regularly perform baptized water in rivers as a form of purification. Water is considered the purest element, similar to the concept of ablution in Islam. They revere prophets, also known in Islam, such as Adam, Noah, and even the prophet Yahya, or in the Christian tradition, John the Baptist. Their religion also includes fasting. Their concept of fasting involves not only abstaining from food and drink, but also from desires, similar to the essence of fasting in Islam. However, the differences between Mandaism and Islam are fundamental. In Islam, the final prophet is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and in Mandaism, it is the Prophet Yahya, or John the Baptist. Mandaism has 3 holy books, Ginzarba, Kolasta, and Drasidiya. Mandaeans are called Mandaeans. They are of Semitic origin and speak Mandaeus, a dialect of Eastern Aramaic. The largest communities were once located in Iraq and Iran. However, many have migrated to Western countries such as Australia, the United States, and Europe due to persecution and conflict. In Australia, for example, the Mandaean community actively performs rituals on the Nepean River, wears white clothing, and prays in their ancient language. The number of Mandaeans is currently estimated at only around 60,000 to 70,000 worldwide. They are an endangered religious minority, but they maintain their traditions and identity strongly. Zoroastrianism, or Mazda Yasna, is an ancient monotheistic religion originating in the region of Greater Iran. Its teachings center on the worship of Ahura Mazda, the all-wise God, and were developed by Zarathustra, or Zoroaster, a prophet and spiritual philosopher who lived around the 10th to 6th centuries BC. The name Zoroastrianism comes from the name of Sangaster, which in the Avesta language is called Zarathustra. This teaching emphasizes moral dualism, the struggle between good and evil, and the importance of human free choice to side with good. This religion is estimated to have emerged around 1500 to 1000 BC, making it one of the oldest religions still practiced today. It was the official religion of the Persian Empire for over 1,000 years, from the Achaemenid to the Sasanian dynasties. After the Islamic conquest of Persia in the 7th century AD, the number of Zoroastrians declined drastically. Many fled to India to form the Parsi community, which is now the main center of Zoroastrianism in the world. Their rituals are very distinctive and full of symbolism. The sacred fire is the center of their worship. They pray before a fire, which is kept unextinguished as a symbol of God's light and truth. Prayers are said several times a day facing a light source, the sun or a fire. The Nafjot ceremony is a spiritual initiation for children, similar to the Shahada. They wear a kusti, a sacred belt, and a thin white garment, sudre, as symbols of purity and spiritual commitment. Their place of worship is called Atas Beham, or fire temple, not a mosque or church. Although they come from different traditions, there are some interesting similarities. Zoroastrianism has 5 daily prayers facing the light. Their sacred garments resemble robes. They wear sudra and gusti. They also believe in heaven and hell, the afterlife, judgment, and the apocalypse. However, fundamental differences remain very clear. Zoroastrianism emphasizes moral dualism, Ahura Mazda versus Angra Mainyu. Islam, on the other hand, rejects dualism and affirms absolute monotheism. Zoroastrianism uses the Avesta scriptures, while Islam adheres to the Quran. Zoroastrianism prohibits direct burial. The body is placed in a tower of silence to avoid polluting the land. Islam requires burial according to specific rites. Islam has detailed Sharia law. Zoroastrianism, on the other hand, emphasizes personal ethics, good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Adherents of Zoroastrianism are called Zoroastrians or Parsis in India. The largest community is in India, especially in Mumbai and Gujarat. The current number of adherents is estimated at only around 110,000 to 120,000 worldwide. This number continues to decline due to the ban on conversions within the Parsi community, urbanization, and the decline in interest of the younger generation. In this journey, we have explored 10 religions that are similar to Islam. Whether in terms of rituals, divine concepts, or moral values, we find that equality is not a guarantee of truth. There are those who pray 5 times a day facing the sun. There are those who believe in one God. There are those who purify themselves and perform ablution. Some of their clothes reflect Islam. There are those who teach fasting and almsgiving. Some even bowed and prostrated themselves. However, Islam exists not just as a belief system, but as a deen or religion, a way of life that is comprehensive, perfect, and maintains its authenticity to this day. In Islam, perfection lies not only in the teachings, but also in the source. The Quran is unchanging, the Sunnah is maintained, and the morals of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ are a universal example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "And indeed the religion that is acceptable to Allah is only Islam." Quran Surah Ali Imran verse 19. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, "On this day I have perfected your religion for you, and I have completed my blessings on you, and I have approved Islam as your religion." Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 3. So recognizing other religions is not to demean them, but to understand that human nature is to seek God, to seek the truth. However, only Islam unites faith, Sharia, and morals in one unified whole. Friends of the Islamic faith who are blessed by Allah, I hope this video is useful, and see you in our next video.